We're playing a fool's game, most of us. Not saving. We're not getting out of debt. Right now, a lot of people look to the government for that support. It's really nice. But when you're $23 trillion upside down, have you all gone online and put in government debt, U.S. federal debt, and they have those the compound interest calculators showing how the debt is accumulating? By the way, is the pressure on interest rates, is it pressure to go up or go down? So pressure inclining toward up or down? The interest rate, you bet, up. Now you think of interest rates in the terms of maybe your credit card, maybe a mortgage payment. Isn't that right?
Yes.
Try and think about it on $23 trillion of debt and raise interest rates a point, or 2 points, or 3 points. And watch how much faster that thing spins. Who's old enough to inherit? You are. You and I are old enough to remember 21-point prime back in 1980. Can you imagine? Cindy and I bought our first house at 13 7/8. Can you imagine? Houses were a lot less expensive then. Thank goodness. Imagine trying to buy housing at 13 7/8 now? It's like putting on a credit card. Wow. You remember that, right? Crazy stuff. For those of you with shorter memories, 2008, we actually looked into the abyss. The government didn't react, the Fed didn't react in time to Shearson Lehman's demise, and the whole marketplace worldwide panicked. We almost lost the whole thing off a cliff. Look, I don't think there's much you and I can do about the government. It's stupid. They don't seem to be getting smarter. They seem to be getting worse. I don't think you're going to be able to rely on Los Angeles or LA County or any other city in this community. Here's what I think you ought to be able to do. I think you need to learn to rely on yourself. I think you need to square away your own house. Get your act together. Take what you learned here. First apply it in your own home. What's your financial independence though? What do you shoot for? I don't care if you start out with $11.59. That's okay. It's not the amount, it's the habit. Once you get the habit started, you start feeding the habit. Then we fed it to $25. Then we fed it to $50. Then we fed it to $100 and $200 and $500 and $1,000 and so forth. Just a few months later, we had $30,000 in savings. Doesn't sound like much to you, but that was 2 years of my income at where I was working at San Jose State University. 2 years of my income in cash. Boy, that felt good. That felt really good. But then we had one of our mentors sit us down. He asked me if we were saving any real money. I said, I was so proud of myself, I knew he was going to be so excited for us. I said, yes, Art. His name was Art. That's why I called him Art. It would have been good to call him that if it wasn't his name. I said, so Art, I said, we've saved $30,000. And he looked at me. He looked at me like I was an idiot. And then he said the words 30,000 back at me like it was a swear word. And then he repeated it 2 more times. 30,000. Each time it got louder. 30,000. And then he banged the table we were sitting at in his suite in the hotel in the Hyatt Regency. And he says, I'm not talking about 30,000. I'm talking about being a cash millionaire. I lost my ability to speak. I literally don't think I said another word before I left the room. I don't think Cindy did either. We kind of looked at each other. Folks, and you, right, moved into a mobile home. You're making $1,200 a month. Somebody says to you, being a cash millionaire, you don't know anybody that's a cash millionaire. My parents weren't cash millionaires. Cindy's parents weren't cash millionaires. Back to the point, I didn't know anybody that was a cash millionaire. And we walked out of that room and we were walking away from it, down that hallway, that hotel. And I said, we aren't thinking big enough. And she said, we're sure not. And 2 years later, she walked into my office with that statement. That's what good mentorship does. But it started with an $11.59 habit that was given to us by a guy that was a high school music teacher who started part-time in the business like you and like me. Sat down with us and taught us a few things that redirected our lives and has now impacted our family for generations. That's the power you have when you internalize a few of these principles and you go show them to somebody else. You will have the ability to redirect the course of their life financially and perhaps for generations. Our children went through school without debt because Gordon De Leon came into our house that day. Our grandchildren will go through school without debt because Gordon De Leon came into our house that day. Our family is without debt because Gordon De Leon came into our house that day. My son, with his fiancée, called us in our car, so we headed back to our other home in Silicon Valley. They talked about what they wanted to do. They found a house. They're excited. I'm proud of my son. He's 34 and he saved $800,000. He's a portfolio manager. It's an investment. He manages over $500 million per employee. That's a different adventure than I have as the son of my partner. They said, I'm going to be able to put half down in this house. I'm excited. It'll be a very manageable thing. I looked at Cindy. Cindy looked at me and we nodded on each other. He said, no, we'll go ahead and pay off the rest. We'll buy the house cash. And that way you'll have no house payment. You know, my son's first thing after thank you was, we're really going to be able to save a lot of money. So, that came out of his mouth because Gordon De Leon came into our house. Taught us. Gordon doesn't think about it anymore. You know how long he was in the business? 8 months. He brought us into the business. Learned some things himself. Taught us some things. He changed our story. He changed the story. He's had some other good coaching we got since then. Some wonderful people that we're in business with, like June De La Cruz, his wife Joyce, others that are represented in the school. Right? Everything's different. And we're now in that needs of life. We'd sure like you to help us impact a few more. Make a difference. Start some of those same life experiences on the path that we got started on 39 years ago. Now, don't be a pansy. I'm not slowing down after 67. Would you mind not making whining and groaning and moaning, right? If it's a little bit hard, hard stuff is what makes it work. It's easy, everybody can do it. I love the life of an entrepreneur. I love the control.